In the spring of 2023, a rancher in Madison County stumbled onto a disturbing scene. Lying in the dry pasture was a 6-year-old longhorn cross cow. There were no footprints around the body, no tire tracks, no signs of a struggle. But the hide around the cow's mouth had been cleanly removed, and its tongue was completely gone. There wasn't a single drop of blood. Within weeks, 5 more cows were discovered across Brazos and Robertson counties. They were all found in identical conditions, lying on their sides, faces sliced open with extreme precision, tongues extracted. In 2 cases, the external genitalia had been removed with circular, exact cuts. Even stranger, natural scavengers, like coyotes and buzzards, refused to touch the carcasses, leaving them to rot for weeks. Local deputies were completely stumped. With no physical evidence of an intruder, the Madison County Sheriff's Office began coordinating with outside agencies to find a lead.
The investigation became so high profile that the Animal Legal Defense Fund posted a $5,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. While it looks like a modern anomaly, these Texas discoveries are actually the newest chapter in a bizarre nationwide cold case that has baffled authorities for more than 50 years. To understand the modern case, we have to rewind to the 1970s. Across the American West and Midwest, ranchers began reporting an epidemic of dead, mutilated livestock. By the end of the decade, reports estimated that over 10,000 animals had been found with missing ears, eyes, and reproductive organs. Panic spread through these remote communities. Without a clear explanation, theories ran wild. Some ranchers suspected the CIA was conducting clandestine biological warfare tests. Others blamed roaming cults harvesting animal organs for rituals. As reports of strange lights in the sky coincided with the animal deaths, many became convinced that extraterrestrials were sampling earthly biology. The public terror reached such a pitch that local politicians demanded action. In 1979, the Federal Bureau of Investigation formally launched an investigation into the crisis. By looking into mutilations on Indian reservations, the FBI provided a serious federal response to a phenomenon that was terrifying rural America. The public was primed for a monster, a secret government agency, a shadowy cult, or visitors from another world. But when state veterinary labs put the carcasses under the microscope, forensic science revealed a culprit that was entirely terrestrial. Let's look at the forensic evidence. When university-based veterinary pathologists in states like Nebraska and South Dakota performed autopsies on these mutilated cattle, they discovered that every animal had died of natural causes, like disease, plant poisoning, or pneumonia. The surgical cuts have a biological explanation. When an animal dies in the pasture, small nocturnal predators, like coyotes and mice, target the softest, most accessible tissue first: the lips, the tongue, and the genitals. Bovine hide is incredibly tough. When predators bite down, their sharp side teeth shear the soft meat away, leaving the outer hide intact. To a rancher finding the body days later, this straight edge looks exactly like a knife wound. This silhouette demonstrates why some parts of the carcass appear bloodless, a process called livor mortis. When the heart stops, gravity pulls the blood away from the exposed, upward-facing side of the animal. It pools at the bottom of the carcass, leaving the top half of the body looking completely drained. Finally, as a carcass bakes in the sun, bacteria inside the stomach multiply, producing massive amounts of gas. The body bloats, stretching the skin until it eventually tears. Because the hide is so tight, these ruptures often form perfectly straight lines that look like intentional incisions. These surgical mutilations were never the work of aliens or cults. They are the perfectly natural, if unglamorous, signatures of opportunistic predators and biological decay. This presents a psychological question. If these deaths are explained by basic veterinary science, why did thousands of experienced ranchers believe in UFOs and cults? This paper, Cattle Mutilations, an episode of collective delusion, explores the concept of mass hysteria. It argues that for people to perceive the mundane in a bizarre fashion, the community must already be under severe environmental stress. In the 1970s, ranchers were under immense financial pressure. The cost of grain and feed reached all-time highs, while market prices for cattle plummeted. Independent farmers were caught in a crushing economic squeeze, facing the very real threat of losing their livelihoods. Finding a dead cow in a remote pasture creates an ambiguity vacuum. The cause of death isn't immediately obvious, and for a rancher already overwhelmed by financial dread, the brain struggles to process the loss rationally. Under prolonged economic terror, a dead cow ceases to be a natural farm loss. It becomes a blank canvas for human paranoia and generalized anxiety. Local authorities often fostered this ambiguity. Sheriffs and media outlets, lacking scientific training, validated the paranormal suspicions of the ranchers. By treating these natural deaths as mysterious crimes, they provided official legitimacy to the public's wildest fears. There is a psychological comfort in the paranormal. Constructing a narrative about UFOs or cults gives a face to the enemy. It is easier to process a grand, orchestrated conspiracy than it is to face the random, indifferent cruelty of nature and a collapsing economy. When the world feels like it's spinning out of control, we look for a reason why. We invent stories to give our suffering a meaning. Humanity, when pushed to the absolute edge, constructs grand, supernatural narratives to endure a simple, brutal truth. The true mystery of the cattle mutilations is how easily we invent monsters to shield ourselves from the things we cannot control.